Welcome to Mount Man Explore the Truth. How's everybody doing today or tonight, depending on time you're listening to the podcast? I hope you are doing well, my friends. Today we're going to be welcoming on Pat and Joe. They're going to come on and share their input on these thermal footage they got of a dog man. And they're going to talk more about how they went about it and how they edit, to make it clear for us to see. I'm going to share all the videos and the footage at the end of the show, so be sure to stay until the end and check it out. On that note, though, I'd like to point out the recording on the show. I apologize for my voice. It was echoing with double voice on there. I apologize. I'm going to figure that out and fix it. But Pat and Joe, they sound amazing. Their voice was clean and clear on there and perfect. So that was the most important thing to hear is their experience and their thoughts on the thermal and all that. So I'm glad that worked out perfect. The only thing that might be annoying is my voice, which is fine. So ignore that part. I'll get that fixed and it won't happen again. I hope. I'll figure out why I did that. So I really enjoyed having them on the show. I'm going to bring them on here shortly. And hopefully I'll do a part 2, part 3. Who knows where we go from there. I definitely think it's important to hear people's experience and what they're doing and what they're going about. They're always out camping, so I'm pretty sure they're going to have a lot of activity all the time. So if you'd like to come on the show, email me at mountainmanett@gmail.com. You can even message me on Facebook. Look for me there. Stay tuned. We'll be bringing them on shortly. Thank you, guys. All right. Today we welcome on Pat and Joe. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
How you doing?
Thank you for having us.
Oh, it's an honor to have you on. Go ahead and tell people a little about yourselves.
Well, we live in Louisiana. We're retired. We like to travel, and we like to camp.
And that's one of our
camping.
is getting out,
Meeting new people.
Mm-hmm.
Where about do you guys camp in different locations all the time, or?
Yes,
We have on. So I'm pretty sure you experienced. Yeah, I'm from Oregon. And I moved down to Southeast Texas, so I'm still trying to get familiar with the areas around here, and Oregon was a hot spot for Sasquatch sightings and all that. So
definitely.
So Southeast Texas is still, you ain't fell off.
No.
I mean, you ain't dropped off any. That should be good too once you learn the ropes.
Yeah, I'm getting familiar with some areas, and pretty interesting down here. So.
Yes, I still have my home in Ohio. I'm from Cincinnati originally.
Oh, really?
That's
awesome.
So we're a hotspot too.
Yeah. When I seen those footage that you sent me, you think it's possibly a dog man, right?
I didn't believe in dog man actually, and it took me a few months after looking at the video over and over and over, and I can't deny the ears or the body
and the breakdown of everything.
Yeah, and the snout. I can't deny it.
Yeah.
So
I was looking at that going, man, that's pretty compelling. I'm looking at it going at the detail of it. You can see the snout, and I was like, wow. So
just as close as anybody that showed us of anything like that.
Really?
It's not very much thermal footage of anything like that out there.
No.
So what leads you up to it? I mean, what happened? What was the day, and when you took off to that trip, and when you started seeing things?
And let's see, that was in 25?
March.
In January of 25, we had a thermal that was a very low grade, and I decided we'd order a upgrade. And I couldn't justify just buying a monocle type where you didn't have any secondary use, so I got a rifle scope. And I looked around, and some of our friends had AGM type of thermals, and they would direct Wi-Fi to their phone, and that was something we had to have, and what we wanted to do. So I got on the line, and I researched it, and I found one that I could afford, but not be so bottom end. So I grabbed up a 25 by 384 Rattler V2 rifle thermal scope, and it has the mounts for my rifle. I've never put it on a rifle so far, but I have luxury of doing that. And that was in January, right at 1st of February. So we got out and about and got familiar with it. And we were contacted sometime in 24 about it was a meet and greet that our friends were going to. We wanted to know if we would go to it in the early part of in March of 25. And that's where this little venture of this particular venture starts. Them inviting us to a meet and greet, and we all get there, but lo and behold, it's been called off. But we decided to keep going once we found out, and we got a cabin. And so that particular weekend, it was really harsh weather in Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky. Really harsh weather throughout the United States and all down to the Gulf even. And but we pressed on, and everybody wanted to keep going. It was in our little group, so we went on up there and got us a cabin, which we already had one. And we all got in there on a Friday day, and we got out that night, looked around with our thermal, and found out, was quite a bit of animals was out, and we had already scoped that area out before, but what we were out after was getting some animals on thermal, and we knew there was a concentration in the area, and we was not really looking for anyone cryptid or anything like that. We was just wanting to show that the new thermal out to our friends, and it went on from there. And I'm gonna take you right on into when we actually went out. We went out on a Friday night. We just seen deer and regular animals.
Mm-hmm.
And as we went on into Saturday, the weather broke enough for us to get out. So we went around. We rode all over the place in the truck, what we could, and just looking and checking out spots and stuff during the day. So that evening, everybody decided they wanted to go eat. So we went up north to a little town, and we went out to eat. We got back about around 9:30, 10 o'clock. And it was like, I was tired, and we'd traveled 10 hours just to get up there, but we all would travel a long ways. But anyway, it was our last night, and we didn't have no choice but go. If we were going to go, we had to go then, because we didn't have a chance to be with everybody. And at one time, Thurman, and the man we wanted to show it to, well, heck, he wasn't able to go with us the first night, but that night he got with the truck with us. It was three of us in the truck.
Mm-hmm.
And about 10 o'clock, we took off away from where we were at. With nobody in the park stirring around hardly any, because the weather was so harsh. They were all hunkered down. We had put our vehicles underneath. We expected bad hail and stuff. We was putting our vehicles under whatever we could get under too, and we took off. And Miss Pat had the thermal, and I'll let her go from there.
Well, we had been working with the thermal for about 2 months, because we shot ourselves in the foot again, like with a lot of bigfoot footers do. Is we catch something, and we don't know how to use our equipment properly.
I'm right with you. I have some new equipment too, and learning it.
First thing you need to do is know your equipment. And so we have several forests here in Louisiana. So, and we're only 20 minutes from the national forest, in a couple parishes. So we get out and we were thermaling, getting used to the camera. And Joe, what he does is he rides real slow, and I'm able to thermal as we go.
Sync to our phone is a big thing we wanted.
Right. And so what it is Joe puts the phone on the dash, and we're able to look at it. Well, that night we had a break in the weather. The animals were out feeding. Bud, who was sitting in the passenger seat, Joe was driving, and I'm sitting behind Joe. And we're all able to see on the phone. So everything, so we were passing the thermal back and forth because he was interested in purchasing this particular scope, and get in, see what it looked like. And he was comparing it to his thermal and some night vision. We were looking at the animals and seeing how they reacted and different things like that is what we were doing. We saw en route, we saw a coyote hunt. There's 5 coyotes. A little bit further down, we could see the deer they were actually stalking. So it was really interesting seeing the owl, and you can see the orbits on the eyes, and with the eye sockets for the heat signature. It was really wonderful to use. Lots of deer out that evening because with the break in the weather. Well, as we were coming around a curve, I noticed it almost looked like 2 upright signatures. It was hard to tell. They were real close together, and it was moving. And whatever I saw on the thermal, Joe and Bud were able to see as well. So, and we all 3 saw it moving and made a comment about it. And so we're probably maybe what, 200 yards away.
That's what our guess was. That we first seen when she first got it on thermal. She was riding shotgun behind, actually behind the driver, which was me, and looking out the window that way, kind of angling toward the front slightly. And that's when she picked it up. And it was a vertical object, and all the deer, everything on 4 legs is up. You're looking at a horizontal back. That's what you're really looking at. And that's what you pick out at first. Then you start trying to determine what you got.
Yeah, it looked pretty close.
This was upright.
And that we knew we had something. And it was the first time she gets it on there was a large blob of thermal. I say blob because it was a big signature sitting there. And I'm not sure it wasn't more than one grouped up together at that time before we got right up there closer to it. But it was huge looking in the on the phone, which is what I was looking at. It was huge looking. And we moved on up until she called it again right out from the truck. But right out from the truck was still 75 yards away because it was on the edge of a creek. And the creek ran down to a cornfield and one of those bottoms up there. And the corn had been cut, and the creek just had a small, thick bunch of trees along the creek, and that's what the things were in. And they were easing down that, I guess. The weather broke or whatever, but they were on the move, and that's where we caught them at. And of course, Miss Pat has got the thermal. She expresses a lot of things, and we've had a lot of things since then. And I know when she gets excited about stuff that you really got to take warning or heed warning what she's seeing and all, because we're seeing it too, though. It ain't just by itself.
Right. It was a shock. It was standing behind the trees, and like I said, on the other side of a creek. So it was, like I said, a distance away. Joe never put the park. The engine was never cut off because I knew we had something. We didn't know what it was yet, but we weren't that comfortable of doing all of that. It didn't say anything.
Expected to stay.
No, we weren't expecting to stay. And we had a hillside behind us on the opposite side of the truck. So anything could have even been up there. But everything on there everything is slow and calculated. The movements, I studied this for a long time. When you look at the video in the beginning, when it stepped out and squared up at us, that's obvious. And if you play the beginning, please excuse my French unless you're able to cut the audio. That's your call.
Good.
We chose to leave it raw because we had tried to have it stabilized, and we didn't like the outcome of it, the final result. And we choose to leave it raw because this is an unusual video. And I think it adds more to it. Um, on exactly what it was. It shows that we haven't tampered with it. This is what we discovered. We're not actually 100% sure what it is. We are basically leaving it to the viewer to decide what they think it is. Some people say Sasquatch, some say Dogman. Um, that's up to you.
Well, it definitely had like a face, the head shape looked
Sure.
like a dog man to me when I was really looking at the footage.
Sure.
And that's what got my attention. I was like, ah, that looks like a dog man. That's why I had to ask you if you thought it was Sasquatch or a dog man. So
Right.
We called it crepit. Just keep it on an even keel, crepit catch. But I was telling her, and she says, she's looking at it, and she's, really shook up, and we all kind of shook up, and we all off the. We're just jabbering in the truck. It's just wild that the things you say when something's going on. But anyway, I told her, I said, you ain't gonna believe this, but every now and then you can see where it looks like ears is coming up on the side of his head like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just the right little pixelation would hit, or we zoomed in just enough, or zoomed out. Now this zooming, we're zooming in and out. What you're seeing, if you got to look at very much of this tape video, we're zooming in and out because she wants to get just as close as she can about seeing what we got. But in digital zoom, it starts distorting when you get too close, or
Right.
too much magnification. It distorts on the unit we got. So he's having to back out to start over again. And some of the better quality pictures and stuff came off of maybe a 4 power as opposed to 2 power than what it normally sits at.
Right. And the thing is, this is part of learning your equipment. It's only natural that you want to zoom in and see closer, but you're actually hurting yourself when you do that. So, like I said, it's all about learning your equipment. We happen to be in the right place at the right time. I don't know how much luck you would call it, but we were in the right place at the right time. There was severe storm activity all weekend long. It was flooding the Mississippi Delta. All of that was all flooded out, all in Missouri, even parts of Land Between the Lakes. This is 16 minutes of a video, actually, where we just broke it down to the main clips, because there's you jabber. We're trying to describe what we're seeing.
We got people getting out.
Right. Bud got out of the truck to see. He was going to go over to it or try and get a better look. But when he stepped out at the edge of the road right there, and he stepped out, and it was mud. He said mud come up to his ankles. This thing, what on one of the clips that you will see, that when Bud stepped out of the truck, it turned its back to Bud. It was, or even standing sideways, it was trying to hide from him. But when he got back in the truck, it turned back around. Those are the things you'll see. You'll see also that it put its hand up over its face. You can see the elbow, you can see the arm.
More like kind of like that.
Yeah, it's trying to hide.
wow.
If you'll look at the film, like I said, a lot of studying went into this. Nobody had any answers for us. We tried to reach out to anybody, the Sasquatch community, the Dogman community. It was hard to get any kind of help with that, or where to go. When it actually boiled right down to it, nobody knew anything, and or couldn't even help you. They
That's
say
true.
they can, but they can't. It's all about learning on your own, I have found.
90% of everything you see or more, 99% is
Mhm.
something us two seniors did that didn't know anything about anything. She has a nice, pro tablet, and I got another kind of unit I use, and we found by going second by second, going over it, trying to take stills off of screenshots and things.
Yes.
And I mean, most of it, what we determined is all what we found. And it took months to find some of it.
Right.
Yeah, it looks
And-
pretty good. I say
At
it's one
the
of the
end
best
at
footage
the-
I've seen.
at the end of it, you're thinking it's just one. You know, what we originally seen was the main character was just one character there.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Well, at the end of it, turns out it's three characters walk off, and nobody really sees that till you tell them, because it took me forever to see it,
Mhm.
and we did all but look the walk off part. We almost lost that completely by misuse of the camera, but we're trying to do different things, but they just don't have much time to move off the subject. If you move off the subject, it can be gone in a blink of an eye. I mean, it's just that
Right.
quick.
Well, none of us are professionals.
And we was
We
definitely
don't
not.
claim to be.
No, none of us are. And
No.
nobody should call them professionals at all because we're all
Oh,
learning
no.
about it.
We're experts or
Yeah.
experts. You do, when in the heat of the moment, you can do the craziest things and you babble and you talk crazy. All three of us. I mean, it wasn't a case of we were horrified. I didn't feel horrified, or I felt pretty comfortable in the truck. You know, that's in the truck. That's kind of like being in a tent, right? Um, it was a distance, it was a little bit of ways. But the thing is you babble, you talk crazy, I'm telling you. And we were trying to describe, we were questioning ourselves, everything that you would do. It's almost like a state of shock.
Mm,
Um,
That's true.
yeah. So we chose to kind of leave some of that out, but we chose to leave it as it is. Like I said, we had a hard time trying to get any answers or any help. I don't think we have gone there, what, 5 times? We
Or
have,
6.
yeah, we went back and did recon a month later. And Joe and Bud they're experienced hunters, so they're trying to do measurements. We're trying to get a little bit better look at the lay of the land. The next day, no, we did not go back over there because it was pointless. We had severe thunderstorms. I mean, complete downpours, drenching. um at 4 o'clock in the morning, it would destroyed any evidence there would have been. We would not have been able to even cross that creek because these creeks are massive. Everything is so flooded. So it was pointless to even look at any of that.
And speaking of that, tell me
Mhm.
about the humidity. What you're seeing
Yeah.
is the fog of the light glaze that you see on
Right.
there, grayish glaze. That's all that humidity down that bottom. It was
Mm-hmm.
destroying all. It's the thermal enemies, that moisture and the cold
Mm-hmm.
in the air and all. It destroys what it can do. So the pictures on the recon look a lot clearer than it did that night. But we were shooting it during the day that there was no rain, and it'd been raining down in there, and there'd been holding water down in there, and all that water had gone out of that little creek by then. It comes in a hurry out of those hills,
Mm-hmm.
and it leaves pretty much in a hurry out of those hills, down in them creeks, and then it goes on out to the rivers, I guess, or down in the ground too. But you know, people have trouble with the
Seems
the
to
look
be
of
traveling a lot of them down waterways, creeks, rivers. And
Yes.
so
Mhm.
it's pretty interesting.
Yes. And also there was, at that time of year, there was very little, if any, foliage on the trees. So that kind of aided in the success of this video. I'm able to capture this. And but like I said, it was high humidity and it does affect these cameras. There was another truck behind us. There was actually 6 of us um together. There was one back at the cabin. There was 7 of us camping together, but there wasn't enough room for all 6 of us in one truck. So we had to take 2 vehicles, but they stayed further back, looking and seeing things with their thermal, what they could see. But they did pull up behind us and stop, and they sat there with us. The driver did try and get out. He he told the two women to stay in the vehicle because he didn't know what he was looking at. But he was unable to see it anyway, just getting out of the truck and not knowing what it was. Because Bud tried to even show him on the camera. And so there was actually 6 of us together, but only 3 of us actually saw it. So, this is what we're able to present. We did reach out to the Dogman Project, Jody Cook, and Jody Cook took an interest in it, and he had his man posted up. They did he has a team there that they investigated it, they looked at it, they analyzed the film. It is posted on the front page of North American Dogman Project. Is where it's posted, and I tell a brief story, a 2-minute story on exactly what happened, and we decided to leave, and because it was just we can't figure out why it's just stood there. It had an escape route. There was a cornfield all behind it. But we have since discovered too that there has been, by friends of ours, that there has been past recordings and some different things in the area. So it's nothing new, I guess, to actually hear something in that area. We know hear something, not necessarily see, but hear.
Yeah, that seems to be a pretty active area out in that, what LBL is what you're talking about in that area, right?
Between the lakes.
LBL
Okay.
is huge, but
Yeah, it
this
sounds like it's
particular
active,
area-
real active.
Yeah, but it was in this particular area that there had been some encounters or recordings or something, or hearing stuff in this particular, like I said, area. So we're out in the middle of nowhere. It's been brought up to us about hoaxing and things like that, about somebody hoaxing us. Who in the world at 10 o'clock at night is going to hoax us
Yeah.
in the middle of storms? We actually, when our friends Bud and Angie arrived on Friday night, we got there on Thursday night, I think, but on Friday night or sometime, but on Thursday, Friday night. Okay, Friday night, we had to go and help kind of remove a tree out of the road for them to even get back to where we were camping. So that's how severe the storms were. And I think it's kind of like a history thing too, with natural, some kind of phenomenon that happened. But also, in the process of investigating on all this, I did learn that the night before was a full moon, and it was a lunar eclipse. So I have documented that along with it because I found that a little interesting. You always hear about, you always tendency to hear about Dogman during storms. Like I said, we don't know what it is. We're not going to claim exactly what it is. We have our own thoughts about it. If you believe in one cryptid, you need to believe in them, all of them.
I agree. I agree.
I have come to that conclusion. Then I need to believe in all of them if I believe in one.
It's a hard pill to swallow, I know. And
yes,
the first thing I was thinking of when we got there and seen what she had on the camera, and it came through on the truck, I'm looking for, okay, where are they parked at? It can't be anything but somebody. And I'm thinking, if it ain't got shoes on, we got something. I don't know what it is, but we got something really good. Well, I'm looking for all the things that come in my mind as a poacher or something during the night when, and I'm looking for the places where he would be parking, and he's the access to the back fields is right up from us, and we can see it up the road from us, and no car was parked there, and we drove right by there. we were so we were not devastated, but we was really in shock by it. But on the other hand, we didn't know what we had.
Right.
And we went right on Thurman for another hour or more. We went right on up the road, and we went by some other fields where they had bison in them, and we went on and done quite a round. And then we finally came back and came back in for the night and called it a day. And we so 70 yards off the road, if you think somebody's hoaxing you, you're not really saying that. What you're really saying is we hoaxed it. Well, I hate to tell you, none of us done anything, but we just happened to be at the right place at the right time.
Right.
And it's
you can't hoax thermal, basically.
You can't even make sense of having I mean, in your mind, when you see this and you see what kind of what you're looking at, and it's a little one, and the middle size one's the one with the main target, then it's one bigger than that comes across there too. That's right there together, and a lot of people don't see that, but it took us months to see it all by slowing it down to nothing, and just one little click at a time. And I don't know what all of them are. Like I say, they all appear to be some kind of cryptid. But we had a lot of questions answered, and we have a lot more to be answered about the whole situation for us. What was going on there that night?
Yeah,
And,
go ahead.
Okay, and one thing too is, like I said, it's for the public and the viewers to decide what it is. But after viewing it over this number of months, if on the thermal, if when it turns sideways to look at Bud, watching Bud, you can see the eyes and everything. But if you look at the abdomen, is holding something. It's carrying something. And if you look at it, because I kept trying to describe it, we were describing it as we were looking at it through the thermal, and I'm going, it has breasts. It has breasts. Well, it's carrying something. I don't know what it is. If it is basically, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's food or a recent kill. It doesn't carry it like a recent kill or prey. It doesn't carry it like that.
Maybe it was carrying a little one.
I personally believe that it is
walks off with it. I can tell you that.
I
can guarantee you that happened.
Yeah, I believe also that it is carrying a little one as well. You can see it. That's why I saved the pictures for last, because those are still shots. There's been nothing done to those shots. I don't know how. Also, I find very interesting if on the on one of the stills pictures, if you'll put up a magnifying glass, it's very creepy looking. You can see the mane. You can see the hair across. You can see the mane on the shoulders that comes down.
Wow.
You can see it, whatever it's carrying, it being a mother myself, it looks like it's carrying something with care. How the arms are it's how whatever it's holding, you can see that these two black dots are eyes, if that helps you. But the arms are really long and hairy, and the fingers are kind of like this, and it looks like almost three fingers. And it looks like Grinch, the Grinch arms and hands. That's what one of them looks like if you look at it, like I said, with a magnifying glass. And like I said, we're people don't bring out things. They want to tuck them away. Why? What are you saving it for? This is how you learn something. We're, like I said, we're, like Joe said, we're seniors. We're older. Like I said, our children don't want this. They don't care. But we're willing to share this. Maybe we can all learn something from it.
Yeah, I agree.
And learn that these things do exist. They are in our parks. They are they're in our neighborhoods. They're in our cities and towns. And that is our main goal.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on because first it was Bigfoot for me, and then it grew into more because I started hearing more about these dogman reports, the crawlers, and paranormals, stuff like that. So it just goes on.
Trying to understand Bigfoot really when this all took place.
Sure.
We was trying to accept what we was dealing with that, and then now it's a whole. We got Bigfoot giving us trouble when we're out and about, or we got something else, paranormal or something at night giving us trouble. It's plenty of stuff out there to think about. It ain't just happening. You get out enough and you pay attention enough, you'll have something happen to you.
Right.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe when you get aware of things, your mind starts to open up more to these things that are unknown to us. And you start paying attention more to details out there as well in the woods.
Yeah, those whistles and those little knocks and those different things, they mean something. And you don't have to wander in the woods at night. As all you have to do is sit by the fire. A lot of times they'll come to you.
You guys, going back to that footage of a possible dog man, I think it is for sure. Did you guys hear any sounds, like metallic sounds or anything like that?
It was in the truck
No.
with the truck running.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I didn't really hear anything.
You can't
The
hear
guys
nothing. Okay.
never mentioned anything.
Yeah. I've heard some reports with these, dogmen that people will hear these like portal sounds and like metallic sounds, like they're coming in and out somewhere. So that's why I asked.
No, we got
That's a
16
possibility.
minutes.
I mean,
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It makes you really wonder,
everything's a possibility. When things show up out of nowhere, you think you should have been around as long as you've been around, but all of a sudden they start showing up. That makes you think about such things that popping out of a portal or something.
Do you think Dogman and Bigfoot are connected in some way?
Well, they are. I don't know if they got the
sorry about
bloodline together, but they run the same neighborhood.
Basically, there are a lot of sightings. They have mixed sightings of both in different locations throughout the world in U.S. So why wouldn't they? They've crossed paths sooner or later. Like I said, if you believe in one, you have to believe in all of them.
I mean, I don't want to say that like that, but it makes sense for her to say that. But if you have an interest in the subject, and you got this little bit of information that we got, you would think everybody, if they were really interested in the subject, we don't know enough about it to turn any of it away. You would think everybody in the world would want to see what they could make of what they could out of this. And from the way we first came upon this thing, and then when we stopped, it's like it's hiding behind something, whether it's his own hair or bushes in his hair or limbs in his hair. And then when it turns and comes down a hill about a step or so, maybe two, then this whole understory is lit up to a point. I mean, it has dark spots in it, but it goes from being that, and then during the night when it turns away when somebody's out the truck, it goes right back into you can barely see the outline of it. And then when it turns back around, it's just like a night and day difference. And that whole thing right there, I thought about it when we first seen it. I said, that's good knowledge for somebody to know. Everybody claims they could cloak, and they're not cloaking. They're just using their natural abilities to turn away from you. And, I would assume it would have thought we were going to drive right on by like everything does. They'll sit still and they'll hunker down for a minute. But we didn't go anywhere. I mean, we pulled right up there to it, so you didn't have no choice but to stand this ground and turn and look. And if it had a little one involved, that's the reason why it wasn't going anywhere either, because they had more to take care of and manage than just himself. And we were told by a friend, if they would have wanted you, at 70 yards, they would have got to the truck before you could have done anything about it.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Right.
But because one thermal ain't going to cover for 3 animals breaking and running toward you at different pathways and stuff. And I don't know what was behind us because nobody was looking behind us.
Yeah.
No.
It could have been all around you, huh?
Exactly.
You don't know
Exactly.
that.
It could have been a whole troop of them. We don't know
They'd
that.
have been in your face in the truck before you could have done anything about it. Regardless, you was armed or not. If you ain't, it don't matter if you're armed or not. If you can't see what you're shooting at.
It made its point when it turned around and took a step forward at us.
When it left, it came down the hill. I said, "Why in the world did it do that?" It took me forever to figure it out why it did. And
with your guys' permission, at the end of the show, I'll put it in the end of it, and share all those footages and videos if you guys want.
That's why we came on.
Yeah,
we came to share it with our peers.
You may get a few more people to look at it that hadn't seen it, and people let them know that just because you got kids in girl camp or guy camp or something, and they go out to these national forests, don't mean they're safe. Don't mean they people. We have so many people in this field or just in general that hide this stuff. Don't want to be don't want to be open about it, and you don't know what you're setting yourself up for. You could go and right in the devil's den and not even know that you're there because nobody don't want to tell you that you're there.
Yeah, I think it explains a lot of people disappearing, in the woods and in certain areas, and it makes you wonder if it's something else going on with that, like connected to it.
Well, that brings us to another thing too. Is, as you know, we have been camping. Since we just came back from LBL. The 1st of May,
April.
Yeah, April.
This is first
April. Okay.
May.
The second week of.
We stayed there from the 2nd to the 5th to the 12th or something like that.
Yeah, we stayed there for a length of time. We came back home here to Louisiana, and we have national forests here. And this is the time of year, as you know, living in Texas. If you don't get out now, you don't want to get out in a couple months. It's too hot. It's too hot. The bugs, everything is out here to get you, or it's snakes or bugs or the heat. It's just unbearable. So the spring of the year, we like to do a lot of camping. We do a lot of camping in Alabama, and we do go to a private residence. And once a year, we've been going there for several years now, and we do document there. And he has them live right there. They come right up to you.
Which is Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Sasquatch creatures live around his place.
Right. But we've gone out to the national forest and had experiences as well. And this weekend, I went 3 days. We went 2 days, 3 days last week, and we left this past Sunday and went back, and we just got back home yesterday because storms were coming in. And we had things go on that I still can't explain. I don't know. I'm still going over the audio. I'm a big audio buff. I love audio. But I put some stuff out. For example, I put some marbles out and put them, in a Pacific design. Now, on a little table right outside the camper. It doesn't matter if you tent camp or you camper or you're in a camper. If they choose to come up, they're going to come up, because we've had them shake the camper a few years back in the same location.
LBL.
And and LBL just recently, we were there and we were awake and sitting there, and something come right up on the steps. We were the only ones left out of a large crowd. It was a big get together.
4 all together there, and they were all scattered out. 2 guys were scattered out.
Yeah, there was 4 is all that was there, and we had something come up, and it was like I don't know, 1:15 in the morning, and we were all sitting there. Well, both of us were sitting there. Joe was right there by the door. whenever it hit whatever it did at the door.
Mhm.
So that was kind of odd. That was, but like I said, that was very odd. But we have been, I I put up, I took some pictures of these marbles, and I set my recorder out in the chair. I set my recorder out in the chair right next to the table. The chair is underneath an awning, and everything else. There's nothing dropping off the trees. And a marble bounces 10 minutes after we go to bed. I set the recorder, bounces across the table. You can hear it rolling. But when you look at the next day's pictures, the marbles don't look like they've moved. So I'm going, Joe, is this place haunted? It is. I mean, we heard other things, and I've heard other things in the past there. I know that something's throwing rocks. It wakes us up. Um, what it will do, it will tap on the side of the camper by the windows and things like that. I don't know what it is, but now I'm even questioning the paranormal, and I've never really had much paranormal out there. Any experience with that. Now I'm questioning it all. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's only like good handful of people that are starting to experience more than just their sightings of these things, you know,
Oh
especially
yeah.
paranormal. I had things happen to me, and I'm like, what the heck? It just freaks you out a little bit, but it just shows you're awake,
did.
you know, to all
I mean,
this.
we have took that trailer in at night, and the pollen would be thick all over it, looking for sign on it, and couldn't find nothing to amount to nothing. We've took the yard rake and cleaned every leaf out away from the table and the rug and the trailer around there, and you couldn't find a track or nothing around there. It's just weird. And then you hear all this stuff going on this audio. Fresh, she just picks it up the next morning and she starts listening to it, and she starts telling me, "Sit down and listen to this. What you think about this?" And it's on and on and on. Something happening.
Right.
It ain't just a. It'd be clicking noises. It'd be all kind of stuff going on.
Now, normally, like I said, now normally the location that we go to in Alabama, which he does go on a lot of podcasts, and he puts his stuff out there. Um, Now I record a lot of audio from them. I'm just now starting to get the clicking, or maybe I'm just realizing it. I'm getting the clicking, and I'm getting the mouth pops and different things like that. And they come in really close. They like the camper for some reason. So I don't know, that this is just it's a whole new experience with what I've just experienced with the marbles and them not moving. Which I find it ironic, amazing.
Really, really impossible.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
That is amazing stuff right there.
There was some glow sticks that moved, but it I had like I had a couple of the bracelet glow sticks that that you connect them together. Well, one come loose. So that could have come loose, or it was popped loose. I don't know. So I'm not going to make any claims that something took
She
it
has that on the
loose.
table. It sounds like we try to duplicate it and dropping it from just a little piece like that. The marble bounces, bing, 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 then it starts rolling across the table.
You hear it roll.
And so it don't put itself back in that. Whatever's does it or whatever, however it happened, it didn't jump itself back in there. And it didn't hit the ground that we noticed. We was listening for it to hit the ground, because when I would do it, I didn't catch it. It would go off the table and you hear it thud on the ground. Well, we never noticed it hitting the ground, and it didn't
We
do
didn't
it
hear
one time. It knew, whatever it was, knew that we were testing it or whatever. And also, if it's paranormal, which we keep saying paranormal, they could do stuff while we're sitting there awake. It wouldn't be no difference. I mean, they could do anything at any time, and with paranormal stuff and people talking about what happens with them. I mean, they don't have to wait till we go to bed. They don't have to wait till we go inside.
Right. This happened. Now, this particular occurrence just happened Sunday night. Um, the recorder had only been running for 10 minutes and 51 seconds. We had went, I started the recorder. I turned on the recorder and I went straight to bed. We both went straight to bed. So, I know I wasn't asleep yet. And this is and we have camped a lot in some really active areas. And this is the first time that I can only handle a few days at a time. Because they are coming in so close and so active. Whatever it is, it's really, really coming in. It's under the camper. Is tapping on the camper. Wakes me up tapping on the camper. Things like that. I'm a little bit more unnerved this time, and I'm having to take a break. Then I go back out, but I'm only able to handle a few days at a time.
Oh, I totally understand that. I took a long break with the show because I was seeing like shadow figures and stuff, and kind of had to deal with that on my own. And
Okay.
and I was dealing with my own situation, trying to move in the house and weird stuff.
Yeah.
So,
And,
get it out of the corner of your eye in a minute.
And- and the thing is too, is we're there by ourselves, and there's and it's in the middle of in the national forest, and there's nowhere around. There's no one around. There's nothing
it's a
around.
campground that gets used every once in a while, but it was nobody there. The nights we were there, we were on the campus.
Right, and we're lucky to see one vehicle a day in the whole national forest out there.
Well, it may change with all
Right.
the open bike trail. It May 1st, the trail opened
Sure.
up. It may change things.
Yeah, it changes season, but it's not there's not a lot of people in there. And so there's very little campers. It depends what's going on. If they have like some they'll have some hiking or some the running trails or whatever, they have little marathons going on, then you're going to get a few campers, but not a lot.
Yeah, that's like the best areas to be where there's less people. And that way,
Yes.
they're not
They got
disturbed by things and
humans.
humans.
If their interest gets swaying from us into people running through the woods at nighttime or camping in the woods, walking trails down in places where nobody normally goes, they have so much. I don't think it's a whole lot of them, but they got they got some scattered around the national forest, and they have. Once you get a lot of interest for them, they probably got other things to do besides us old people.
Right. Well, like I said, we have learned you can't have new things, because what they, you're listening to the recorder, and then the rock comes hurtling in and hitting the side of the camper. You hear all that. They're slapping the generator. There's stuff going on with that. So I have a lot to try and process with the marble. I mean, things have been moved, but I can explain that. But the marbles weren't moved. That's what I can't explain.
Yeah, that's an interesting one there.
Yes, it is. I'll send you that a little later for you to look at.
When you go in the woods yourself, or anybody, think of yourself, you are the bait.
Yes.
You don't have to do anything no more than you just put yourself out there, film yourself, film what's going on where you're camping, film your tent if that's what you want to do. Hide your recorder or whatever you got. You are the bait. You don't have to go hunting for bait. You are the bait.
Right. They don't seem to mind recorders too much either. We've had several experiences with the recorders, and I think a whole lot of luck too.
Yeah, I like what you guys got going on there, because you're just going out there, enjoying your trip, being comfortable, and then this activity comes happening to you. And compared to the other people in the crypto world, they like to go chasing, hunting, like you said. And a lot of times don't get no reaction from these things.
Well, on our thermal, one big thing we got is we work together on it.
Mhm.
When she needs it zoomed in, I do that with the phone. If she needs the brightness or the contrast or anything adjusted, then it's up to me to do it with the phone. She has one thing to do. It's basically is keep it, keep it looking to the thermal. You know, if I need to record something, I do it from the phone, and it goes on the phone instead of going on to the thermal. And that's a whole deal. And you download it to the thermal instead of or capture it with a thermal. You got to get it off of there. With the phone, it's an easy clean. It's an easy transfer. And that makes it a lot easier when you have two people working together on whatever you're doing.
And to be honest, I think phones are the best thing to have when you're out there.
If you can get two people working together, it really, or best you can. I mean, we're not perfect at it, but we try.
Right. And people say, and we have been told that a few times too, okay, this happened. Okay, it's just a story. Where's your proof? Okay, here's your proof, people. You can do with it as you please. I would like to see if you could even say what you think it might be. I would be interested in knowing what people's thoughts are. It doesn't bother me that, you think we're crazy or whatever. This is our hobby. We like
I love
travel.
it.
And this is our hobby. This is what we've been interested in years. Our kids are gone, kids are gone. It's we're both retired now. We do what we want. We get up when we want, we camp when we want.
You camp middle of the week if you don't have nobody around you. It's a lot easier than working people having to be there just on holidays and weekends. We can kind of get around that problem.
Oh,
We
that's
make
my dream. Someday when I retire, I'll be doing the same thing, going out.
Sure.
Well, you're in a prime place over there, and we got to come that way sooner or later. We just hadn't made it across. We've been through there around Jasper and on around, but we're traveling from through Pendleton all the way around Jasper, then back up around the dam and cross back into Louisiana. But we haven't really done anything for us doing it yet.
Over here in Warren, that's where I'm at. I'm not far from Jasper, actually. I think it's like an hour.
Okay.
I'm over here in Warren, and it's right by the big reserve, and there's a lot of activity going on in there. Is what I've been.
Oh yes. Sabine River. We're
it looks scattered out.
Yeah.
Don't overlook Boise Springs over there either.
Right.
Okay.
Look that up on your deal. Don't overlook that. That's a mega for happening.
Yes.
Okay. I'll look into it. Very interesting. So
yeah, Barkin Springs. I'm sorry, I said Boise Springs, Barkin Springs.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot of new spots out here to check out, and I haven't really gone out there yet. I went and checked out the reserve a little bit, but there is weird things going on at night over here. That's for sure. You hear weird, strange sounds, and so
yeah.
Yep. But yeah, I don't know if you guys be interested in coming on more on down the shows. We could do live specials and stuff like that. Catch up with you. What's going on.
We've been to Falk together 2-3 times. She had her first sighting up at Falk.
Oh, really?
At that, we have a report of different things happen to both of us. I haven't had the sighting she's had, but then again, I have to go in the woods and do my thing. I'm just soon not to have one, really.
Yeah.
Right. He's the bait. I call him. But what I'm doing right now is I'm putting together a collection of audio and experiences that we have had. You'd be surprised on what happens in different areas. And I am putting a channel together, but it's going to be different. I'm in the process of working on that. Like I said, I've accumulated enough material and a collection of it to be able to share that. And I have just started into that, and I'll let everyone know when I have started my posting. I put the channel up. It is called, it's one word, what's it called? I forgot what it's called now. It's called
Whispers something.
Whispers in My Ear.
Okay.
And it a
Bigfoot stuff?
a listening experience.
Okay.
It's more like I said, my first love is audio. You can learn so much from audio. But I'll be sharing that more, and I want to do a different little twist. Nothing really live, none of that. Just some different experiences that to share with.
Are you going to have it all on YouTube channel or?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
cool.
I'm gonna post it on YouTube, but that's what it's called.
That'd be awesome. I'll love to check it out, and I'll be sure to subscribe to it. So.
Yeah, Whispers in My Ear.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll put that in the description too.
Where we're at here with this.
We'll be glad to come back. We'll go live, whatever you'd like to do.
Yeah, I'd like to do a part two with you because it sounds like you got a lot more to tell. And
there's a lot.
Yeah, I hope it's all picked up because you're my first one back doing recording.
Oh, well, great. Good.
My other guest yesterday didn't show up. He had to reschedule, so supposed to be having him on later today. But we'll see what happens with that.
Well, good luck with your show. Hopefully this help out.
Hopefully
you get the word out too. That's what we wanted to get the word out.
Yeah, I think that's the most important is getting people's truth out there, and that's what I'm about. I like to give people the chance to tell their truth and let the audience decide. And I'll tell you what, I believe the footage, and it looks like a dog man to me. It kind of gave me that creepy vibe. You could feel the goosebumps.
It is.
Like that's something there.
It is. It is creepy. When it squared up, it was kind of creepy too. When it turned around, took that step forward. But no, we like I said, we have nothing to hide. If that was our goal, is to bring it to the public and make awareness. That's all we're trying to do.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing, seeing you guys. Actually, I think I heard it on audio. I think it was the Cryptid Huntress, right? Is that where you were on there?
We were. Yeah, we were live with Jessica.
Okay. I think I might have heard that before. I listened to some of her show and Crossroad Bigfoot, I think it was.
Yeah, we've camped with Jessica.
Been on,
so,
but Sasquatch Theory had a big viewing of us so far, and
there's been a few that we have done. We're kind of selective. We don't do a lot.
Yeah, I feel you there. There's certain, like certain guests I'll bring on, but then there's certain podcasters I'm not sure about, and
right. That's
all of us are in different views, so.
Right, exactly. We're basically, we like to go on podcasts that actually want to hear our story. We're not just a number for someone to listen to. And entertainment, I understand the entertainment part is part of it, but this is our truth.
Yeah, I think it's important and to stay focused on it. That's why I definitely want to bring you back on, like, future activity going on and more of your past experience. And I think that's important to share because a lot of other people like mine have come forward and compare to yours, and that's what's important because put puzzle together.
We have something time, and then when we go out, we have more than average luck on little something happening when we're out and about. Even if it's just a thermal catch of something rare, and that not even cryptid or anything, but she got a rare catch. We got a couple of rare catches, as far as I'm concerned. One with LBL. At night, which to us, that's the kind of stuff we normally run into thermally at night and stuff. Is catching stuff that you didn't know was in the area, or a lot of it's the same old thing. But it's wonderful to get out and see game and all anyway.
Yeah, I think these things are more active at night, to be honest, because less people out there running around. But I think they're active during the day too. There's some secluded areas.
Audio stuff I've ever had is when I've been hunting or pre-scouting hunting, and I think it's kind of like somebody saying, "Well, when do you kill the most deer, morning or evening? I said, when do you go the most? Well, I go, it's whenever you go. I mean, sometimes if you just go in the morning, well, that stands to reason. But if you go during the day, they out, they ain't sleeping on the job. I mean, they out and about. She got 2 o'clock knocks less than a week ago right here in the National Forest. The night she was having to explain that what was going on in the trailer, well, the next day she had knocks across the way from us. So we knew they was still in the area and still watching what we were doing or something.
Yeah, he was out turkey hunting, actually. The season was still going on, and I'm sitting around the campfire out at camp by myself, and 2:30 in the afternoon, 2 knocks come real close. And I said, oh, they're still here. They're out there. I know where you're at. But I do. The only thing I think I have left to say is I missed my biggest catch just a few weeks ago at LBL. Is we were out, what Joe was leading up to too, is we were thermaling. There was 4 of us in the vehicle, and my partner that was supposed to be thermaling in the front passenger seat, he fell asleep because he had been driving all night, but I was in the back seat and on the passenger side, and about 10 yards from the truck on one of the back roads at LBL, I capture a mountain lion.
Wow.
But it was a case of we're driving real slow, it's walking this way. So we're passing and I'm having him back up to try and catch it, and it was on a ridge there, and it just stepped right off the ridge. I couldn't even get it recorded. And
minutes before that, my phone was strobing like it lost Wi-Fi connection.
Yes.
And so I couldn't do anything unless I had it running the whole time. But it was no backing up and catching it from my angle anyway, because I couldn't do nothing about it at the time.
Yeah, that caused me to do some stuttering. The only thing that was able to finally come out of my mouth that it was a tiger. It was huge. It was huge. It was huge.
Amazing.
That one scared me. That scared me because I said, okay, I've been going out here and everything and walking here at LBL, going out in no man's land, right in the middle of the forest. No, no.
Yeah, LBL seems to be
not without a friend. I refuse to go back out like that. No.
I've been seeing a lot of people going over there and LBL and showing up with some boards.
It's a popular place. It has lots of mysterious stuff going on around there.
But that one scared me about going out into the woods without any kind of protection. We did catch we did also catch a turkey on a nest, a hen on a nest, which is very interesting to see too. So it's not just the dog man and the cryptids and all of that. It's just catching some of the wildlife, which we find interesting too on thermal. It's a great take.
Yeah, you can't. It took us 60 years to get to what we caught a year ago, and so we won't be around to see another one. If you could averaging things, and unless they get way. And they might be cycling where it's going to be where they're more sporadically seen, or it's just because of the internet. I don't know yet. But
yeah, that's possible. More coming out, and especially these numbers on Bigfoot. You're hearing lots of reports on it. Recently too.
A lot of food out now that we used to not have is cycling with all these hogs being. Texas is a prime example of the worst hog state in the world.
Yeah.
That's a lot of food for things to catch and eat big predators.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I was thinking.
That's the main reason we was in that area that night. I seen the food on the ground during the daytime, and there was lots of it. I said, well, this is prime place for a predator to be. I don't know what's going to be here, but because I didn't have the knowledge of what we was getting into at the time, but just me reading the land is the reason why we went through there that night. And we had caught that a year before that because we was out looking when we had a meet and greet up there after everybody left, we stayed a few days extra and got out and got to looking. That's our biggest thing is riding around roads where nobody goes, daytime or nighttime with thermals, during thermaling at night or riding and looking, and you're just picking up on things, and you eventually you're going to find some place you want to go back to in thermal or whatever. But you got to get out. I've always done it, and that's one of my things I bring into the group is that we get out and ride and stuff, no matter what's going on. I've always done stuff like that.
Well,
and
I've been using
me
this guy right here. If you guys can see it there. It's been working pretty well.
Mhm.
I haven't caught too much yet, but I'm working, learning it too. And
there's
Oh, yeah.
lots of back roads in the national forest over there, and I know this in that big thicket area. It's a lot of private land in the middle of it too.
there is. I got a huge chunk behind me on the property that's like a hunt land. And then across the road is, if just walk like 10, 15 minutes down the road, I'll be in the big reserve. So I can right by it.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, you need to get a partner is
Yeah.
what it is Joe and I are partners in this. So
There's a lot of people over that way doing by the looks of things. That South Texas bunch bound to be somebody, Southeast Texas bunch or something. There ought to be somebody over there that you can get in contact with.
Yeah, I've been feeling people out around here, and some people are actually coming more forward about their recent activities they have, and people they know that are interested in these things too. And it just takes talking about it. You're gonna get some weird reaction from some people because they're not into
Well, you
it.
always do.
But
you always, yeah.
But I look at it too. It's not about. I mean, we didn't do anything to create this deal. We're not fiction writers or nothing like that. So whatever happens to our life gets in our lap is because we got out somewhere for it to happen. And we didn't put this on earth or whatever. We don't control it. If it's government control, they need to get it back under control.
Yeah.
I mean, the way I look at it, well, if your dog's out, get him back in.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever the deal is. But something happens to you guys late at night and all. It's just because you and God, or whatever, it just happened to be your turn.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't because you're out and about where you're driving or you're looking the back roads and you just happen to be there at the right time or the wrong time, depending on what happens. But, it's not your fault no more than you were just out when something happens to you. I mean,
what I find amazing is people like you going out and experiencing things don't always turn so violent. Like there's a lot of violent reports too. And those ones freak me out, when we hear about them. So
we haven't had really not like big, really, really aggressive. We haven't been like,
not just one
huffed at and
was the most violent.
yeah,
Mhm.
that when we were out in the middle of the swamp, but we can go into that in another show, and we
let's do that.
audio for all of that. So there's like a lot to take under, but we can't walk in. We can't walk into the woods at night thermaling like that. We're falling, break a hip or something.
Yeah.
This way, we have found an easier way to do it in an area that's vast, and we can cover more ground.
New
is what
clear
we have
cuts, you
found.
can see for miles down in new clear cuts if it's something on the wood line on the back.
Sure.
You got decent thermals, you can see back there and see upright outline. Well, if it's something back there and it's in the middle of the night or whatever, and there ain't no good reason for it being back there, you probably got something. It's just
Right.
it's a lot of places like she says, hell, it could pull you out the window because the palm and all that stuff grows so close to the dang road. The ditch is just hardly nothing, and then it's right up on the road in Louisiana. Some of these places you go, you can't see nothing with them. They could be standing right there and just about brush your elbow when you're hanging out the window driving. That's how close things are around here too at times.
Mm-hmm.
It's all wide open. You just have to pick and choose what you can, what you can see in some of these places you can see. And they do a lot of burns around here. Don't be scared of that either. on this national forest, they like to burn that understory. Well, we've seen it burning 5 foot from where the game's standing right by it. Who knows? You don't just
Good point.
the green had him to come back for them to be there, but there was something there they was wanting to be there for, and that burning didn't bother them a bit.
No. You know,
It
that's
just
a good point.
But you got to be out while that's going on if you want to experience that.
Yeah, I went out just a little bit myself about a couple weekends ago, and I felt a little bit off because I'm by myself, and I'm like,
Right.
maybe I should bring somebody with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your
You should.
imagination's your worst enemy.
It is.
Right.
You start thinking you're hearing these noises, we're like, what was that? You know, looking around, and
Right.
so
Yeah,
I've heard reports over here. I don't know if you guys know much about the what they call this, basically like a skin crawler type creature or something
Oh
like that.
yeah. No, I'm not doing that.
I don't like it either. They told me there was like 5 reports out here, and I'm like, what?
I know.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
know if I want anything to do with that.
No.
That's something we don't understand, and I mean, no, we don't either.
No, I'll stay in.
Yeah.
I run across one of those, I'm done.
Yeah, I don't mind hearing about it, but I don't think I want to see one.
No, I no.
Pretty
I'm
disturbing.
not going there. No.
Yeah. When the guy told me they're here, I was like, oh no.
Well, I tell you what, what did the police officers say to us, the parish officers say, Joe? When you asked him, you showed him your shirt, you had a Bigfoot shirt on. What did you say to
I said,
him?
you been seeing any of these? He said, or hearing about any of these? He said, no, but it's other stuff out here.
He said, but there's a lot of other stuff out here.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's creepy.
Yeah. And that come from
That's
the
another
parish
thing
sheriff.
people need to be aware of is we was in on a deal. We turned into a little road. It was being used, and it was a truck abandoned right there. It was all tore up looking and all, and he was watching to catch the guy that you don't know what you're going to get into when you run around the roads at night. Far as you can get into people trouble, not necessarily boogers, none of that, but
some weirdos out there.
Down there. And,
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling her the other day, so it's like a prime place to have a meth lab right there. You know, it's an old house, never been used. Now all of a sudden it's got guard dogs and weird looking vehicles around there and all. I don't know about that one.
I agree there because that's the biggest thing I fear in the woods is people.
Sure.
You know,
that's us. That's us as well. That's that's why it's great. I'm fortunate to be able to have a partner. If I didn't have a partner, I don't. Either one of us, I don't think we would do this.
No, we wouldn't have took into this like we have if we were together.
It's a lot safer with another person or a group.
Sure.
We just had like interests, I guess you'd say.
Mm-hmm. And also, if our kids knew where we all went, I don't think they'd appreciate it.
A lot of my relatives think I'm, I'm different. Yeah, I'm interested in Bigfoot, this dog man, UFOs, paranormal. Always have been. Since
right. Well, I mean, my kids all are great with it, and they believe in some of that kind of stuff, but to actually go out and experience it, that's a whole new ball game for them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, come on now, Mom. But you only live once. I'm trying to get the answers before I go.
Exactly. You need to see what's, figure out what's going on.
That's right. That's right.
A lot of people are in denial about this stuff. They don't want to, and I don't want to interfere with what I do hunting or anything, but it's still once you get there and you see enough, it's on your mind. I don't care if you're trying to bury it or not. It's still there. It still affects you in some kind of way.
It helps you mentally. It helps you physically. Just to get out and do this. It kind of keeps you young.
Yeah, and I think it's important. People like you guys out there, investigate and having these experience, come on to talk about it because it makes you feel better. And finding out other people are having similar, stuff going on.
Oh, I have a lot of friends that really they would just crucify you, old friends and all. And they know I wasn't never somebody that came up with stories and all kind of stuff like that, but in their mind they can't accept what we're dealing with.
Right.
But nor do they hunt the answers I had to show them either. They won't. They don't want to really see what I got.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Yeah.
that's the thing with some people are a little too freaked out to even want to, they think there's something out there, but they're like, do I really want to know they're out there? Because it will mess up their hunt. So
Yeah, I mean it. But do you really? I kind of look at them just the other way. You're running around here doing all this you're doing, and you don't even know what's under your nose.
yeah, I think
They're
it's
supposed to be
important
some
now.
of the best hunters in the state,
Right.
and some of them we haven't had a lot of over the years. Had a lot of when I was coming up. It's just here of late that I started catching on what was going on around me and stuff. I just didn't know when I was younger. It may have been happening, but it just nobody pointed it out. Nobody accepted it, or nobody knew anything about it. I think our creatures. It's almost like I tell people. It's almost like they jump tree to tree just to not to leave a track nowhere.
Yep.
Then you hear somebody somewhere else and they have tracks all over, and I'm thinking, well, hell, I go down all these creeks, walking around doing this just like they do, and I can't find a dang track. But you never know. One day you might, walk up on all that going on.
Yeah, that's interesting that you say that because over here, reports I've heard down here in this, area I'm at, they say they'll hear and see these things run and splash in water and get out, and they never see a foot track, so they don't know if they're just
Right.
good leaps or what.
Well, also too is the soil. Also that we're not able to get those kind of tracks too. A lot of them.
It's either too hard for anything, or like it's so soupy it dissipates back into the ground. Like it don't hold.
Right. You got that sugar sand and all of that, and you're not able to get that. But
we're getting these dog tracks this big around, and I don't know if I got a good angle, but this big around that we're asking ourselves, where the hell is that coming from?
Yeah, we're going. That's an awful big dog.
It would take an old, great big hound dog to have a foot that big. Coyote don't have a track about that big. They're
they don't.
And we don't have no large number, no red wolves or nothing around here that would have a little bigger track. But these tracks are huge, and they're not just running and you're saying they're expanded because they're running. They're just huge tracks, and I don't see people like on a leash with them or them walking.
Right.
And sometimes it just be on the side of the road in the road ditch, and I'm thinking, how come ain't nobody catching that on camera? If it's a dog,
yeah,
somebody should be reporting that. If it's just a dog.
Yeah, I think you guys are on something where people need to be aware, and doesn't have to ruin their camping trip. It's just going to be aware there's something out there.
No, it doesn't have to ruin it
This
at all.
is just a standard dog track, no special hops or heels or anything, just a standard track. But more I look at it, more we talk about it, it's hard to realize what's making that if it's that big of a track.
Yeah.
If you've seen a big cat track, it's a mountain lion. You automatically this is a mountain lion, because a bobcat track is not real big either.
Got a good point, because I came across tracks up there in the Northwest Oregon, and before I knew anything about the dog man, and I seen these big tracks that looked like a dog, but big deep claw marks in them, and I didn't know what the heck to make of those.
I would think it's a mountain if I had to guess.
Yeah. Good point.
They got a pile of them in Florida. They got a pile of them. They're starting to get everywhere too. People don't want to. Just that right there alone. We ain't never really had any on camera or anything, so you can put them right as rare in my area, just as rare as anything else. As far as big cats are rare around here, but they could be coming. It may be a breeding population could be here anytime. Bears are getting bad down here too.
Yep. I heard the bear population is coming back in these areas. So
in Louisiana, they are for sure. And Sabine River ain't gonna stop them.
Yeah. That's what's cool about Texas and Louisiana. They're right in the corner there. Pretty much the same similar area. So
same here as it is over there around Daniel Boone and is it Davy Crockett over there?
Oh yeah, that's more up above me.
Angelina and all that. It's all the same piney woods.
Yeah. Yep. A lot of people be like, "Why Texas?" Like, well, I chose deep down the south area because there's forest over there, and they didn't know there was one. So, like Texas got a little bit of everything.
Oh, sure. That's like Louisiana.
They
Yeah.
got different laws than they got in Oregon. They got all kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oregon just got too expensive. Can't survive there.
Oh, yeah.
The people over in Texas getting a lot of folks from out west, and a lot of those people moving out from over there.
Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. I love my mountain. I live right down Mountain Hood at the time, and there's a lot of activity there, but it just got too hard to live. So
yes. Yeah. Oh, yes, definitely. But anytime you're welcome to come up and you can camp with us, whatever. You're not that far away.
No.
We'll take you out with us.
Yeah, we took old Martin out, the rambling big camping with Sasquatch guy. He come through. We took him out and about and put him on just some areas and stuff. We didn't have anything really particular went on, but he's been all over the country. I don't know where he's at now, but I ain't heard nothing out of him lately. But we every now and then we'll get some YouTuber Bigfooter come through or something. We'll spend a little time with him.
Yeah, he stayed a week with us. Give him a break because he'll live right in the forest. So, which is kind of interesting. We enjoyed his stay here with us, and you're more than welcome. To join us. You're not that far away, and this way you don't have to go out by yourself, and you can experience a little bit.
Oh, we come down there.
Yeah,
go out. You can almost make a day trip down there.
Sure.
If you had to, just to go look at land during the day, so what you want to get on during the night.
Yeah, when I get some time, we'll definitely get something together. That'd be awesome.
Oh, we would love that.
I'm still learning the area here, but love to hang out with some like-minded people. So that'd be awesome.
Oh, yes, that's the part of it. A part of it is the fellowship. A lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm a map guy too, and people always want to know why you got all it. But way before we had internet or phones or Google or anything, we didn't have nothing but mapping. So I've been mapping for 50 years. Once I figured out what I could get a hold of and Google, on Topo and everything, and I was looking at some mapping stuff today, but get those maps and look at them, and you'll see where them creeks crossing or dead end roads are and stuff. If you get close to both of those things together, you're probably going to run into some kind of activity down in there.
Yeah, I've been learning recently that there's a lot of creeks over here. They call I think one was called Bear Creek and Black Creek, and then there's the Pitcher Creek Trail, I think is what it's called.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of creeks over here. And
okay, we'll look that up.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Might have to venture out that way.
Yeah, I've been told people around here, neighbors, I'll tell them what I do, what I'm into, and they're like, at first, and they go, well, we heard a report of a possible Bigfoot sighting over here. I'm like,
sure.
Oh. So it takes a little bit of filling people out, and then they kind of start opening up a little bit about what's going on. Like they talk about the phantom horse, like a road that's got a haunted horse that goes down it,
Sure.
So it's interesting stuff.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah. It's interesting. I'm like,
Oh, sure.
And then I hear people say there's a lot of witches around here. I'm like, what?
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
I haven't. We went up there, and LBL has said a lot of things about the cults and stuff being in there and all that. I haven't really seen the sign. What little bit I got out, walked across the overland and stuff, but I mean, it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
They say they're indeed.
I haven't seen anything. I don't know. It could have been a bad report. Somebody just trying to drive a story that wasn't even there. I don't know.
That happens.
But
right.
but you might be talking to one every day. Just because you're a witch don't mean you're public with it. I mean, you might be talking to one every day and not know no better.
Yeah, not all of them are bad either. There's
right.
There's some good ones and
right.
ones that are bad are probably doing dark things you don't want nothing to do with. So,
exactly.
I believe in healers, which they probably like to call themselves witches too, and they're about helping people, healing. 'Cause everything's natural on
You know, you
planet for us.
think healing like that's something taboo, but these people been healing warts and all kind of things for hundreds of years.
Yeah. I don't trust the doctors.
Right. You got to remember,
I asked the doctor
we're in
about that, too.
Louisiana here. We hear everything.
I asked the doctor about that too, and he said, "Yeah, there was somebody down there when I was an intern around Lake Charles could do that." He said
Wow.
they would go up to him. Alabama was the same thing.
Sure, they do.
They would go up into the store where the pharmacist was, and he had healing power to cure warts and that kind of thing.
Sure,
crazy.
they get the swamp witches. Is
Mhm.
what we call them, the swamp witches.
You call them all kind of stuff. I ain't
Yeah.
saying-
I've heard names for Bigfoot out here. A couple different
Right.
names they call them.
Right, exactly.
They'll look at
Exactly.
me like Bigfoot, and they call it something else.
Sure.
The hairy man, or
Just boogers, hairy man.
yeah. So I really enjoy having you guys on. I'm gonna definitely bring you back on and do part 2, part 3. Who knows?
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, I'll share your videos in the end here, and I'll edit it in. Like to do a lot of pre-recorded shows, so that way I can put stuff in whenever you want, or you can message me and say put it in there, and I'll put it in there. So
That's all right.
Well,
Whatever you want to do.
His link to his
Yes.
deal.
Okay.
Forward it to my account so I
Okay.
can kind of keep up with it.
Okay. I've been watching you lately.
I'll
Okay.
appreciate it, and I'll definitely let you know when I drop it. So you
Okay.
can share it too, and maybe it'll be the first one or the second one. I'm trying to decide here. It depends on the other guy. If he doesn't come on tonight, then I'm gonna make yours the first episode of my comeback. So
Whatever you'd like to do. It's
yeah.
fine.
Yeah. You'll see me doing a lot of live shows too. I have fun doing those. It's just anybody's welcome to come in and hang out. So
Right. Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
yeah.
was
Thank
our
you for
pleasure.
coming on.
Well, thank you.
I appreciate it.
Okay, Blake.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Sorry about the ending of the show there. I had to re-edit one in because it didn't have me speaking at all on the mic. So I'm still trying to figure out stuff on my OBS and fix things and figure out why it's doing what it's doing. And as you can see, if you made it to the end and you heard me echoing, that's something, I don't know, was doing like a duplicate on my voice, but I don't know what's up with that. So I'll figure that out so it doesn't happen again. I'm a little embarrassed about it, but at least the audience, at least the guests, sounded clear and perfect. No, double echoes on them, just me. So if you made it through the show and ignored my echo-ness, I appreciate you making it to the end. But I want to go back and share these videos they shared with me since you couldn't hear me, so I'll have to go back and show them to you. So 1 second, guys, bear with me. If you're listening to this on audio, go to YouTube channel and you'll find it there, and you can check it out. So 1 second, guys. Let me open up the font here. So if you'd like to come on the show, email me at malmanett@gmail.com, or you can message me on Facebook. So look for me on Facebook, and I can also bring you on. You can reach out to me and I'll bring you on. Hold on a sec, guys. I'm gonna look for these photos and share with you. We're gonna share the first set that she sent me, and she sent me some on the end. Or actually, she resent some of those with the other photos. So we're gonna go ahead and start, and we'll get the reaction going here so you can actually see it. So once again, guys, I apologize. Pat and Joe were great guests. I enjoyed them having on. I apologize to them if they made it to the end here too and heard the echo on my voice. I apologize, guys. We'll get that figured out and situated so that doesn't happen again. So let's go ahead and share their video clips here.
Okay. 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 Okay, it stopped. Whatever it is, it stopped. I see it turning its head or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, look. What the fuck is that?
Look, he just turned full body towards the thing.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Zoom in. Zoom in. Hey, I'm being recorded and I'm cussing. What is that? What is that? Okay, back it back out. Back it. Back it back out. Back it out. Back me out, back out. Okay, this thing is watching us. It's looking at me. Start recording. Start recording. Okay.
Here's some photos. Wow. You see that looks like a dog man right there in the face here. Very interesting. I'm gonna go back because I think I might have missed some videos.
Start recording. Start recording.
Make sure it's not one she already played.
Okay. Okay. Okay, it stopped. Whatever it is, it stopped. I see it turning its head or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, look.
Whoa, it moved.
Look, you just turned full body towards it.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Zoom in.
We're gonna go back to the spot.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Look, you just turned full body towards it.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
What the? I don't
This
know.
is where I want to see it again.
Yeah, look.
It moved.
What the fuck is that?
Wow. That's amazing. Another good video footage. Wow.
I got it. Yes, it is. That's it.
Pull up a little bit when you can. Pull up with the thing a little bit.
Like that?
Yeah, a little bit higher.
Okay.
We must move up and make a difference. Let me move a little and see if you can come up with a better signature.
Oh, it's moved. It moved. Where's that then?
No, it's still there.
Well, guys, let me know what you think of that. That's pretty interesting photos and footage that they shared with me. I hope I didn't miss any. If I did, I'm sure she'll let me know. Once again, I apologize for the double echo in my voice. I'll figure that out and get that fixed. If you made it through the show, at least it was more important to hear the guests speak because it didn't happen to them. It only happened on my part. So I'm going to figure out why and get that fixed. And we should be good to go for another episode. So I can't wait to bring them back on again and do another show with them, maybe a live show. We'll stay tuned on that. So if you'd like to come on the show, email me at mountainmanett@gmail.com. You can also message me on Facebook. Look for Blake Botel. And if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe and thumbs up and rate the show, guys. I really appreciate your support there. If you're listening to it on the audio, be sure to hit the following button and rate the show there as well. The most important thing you can do is share the show. So until next time, guys, let's explore the truth together. Take care.